Seating for 6, tons of cargo room, natural light thanks to the panoramic sunroof, nice stitching in the sides here and materials in the doors, pretty good looking seats that are ventilated and heated, and for a 6,000 pound truck that's so big, you can do a U-turn with literally one finger. This is the VW Atlas. Let's talk about it. This is the Volkswagen Legroom 3000, also known as the Volkswagen Atlas. This is a 2021 SEL R-Line V6, so it's the top of the line. It comes in around $52,000. And as you can see, I have pretty good legroom, and it goes back even further, and now it's like a first class flight. Let me show you the back real quick, then we'll talk about the power, and of course we'll drive it. So this one is a 6-seat configuration. As you can see, we have 2 captain's chairs here. So we have seat 1, seat 2. They slide 7.7 inches each on rails. So if you want more space back here, you can have it. The seats in the rear, there are 2 seats. They fold very easily. We can just pull this strap here, seat pops up, and there it is. And we have, of course, a lot of trunk space, as you can imagine. We have a panoramic sunroof here, and these seats are adjusted, so you know, for myself, I'm 5'8", and there's plenty of legroom here. There are 2 USB outlets. There's a 115 volt power outlet here, heated seats if you get the captain's chairs, and of course you can get it with a bench seat here with a 3-seater configuration. You get air vents in the back for your 3rd row passengers, 12 volt outlets, cup holder, storage space, and of course you got some storage bins and pockets here in the doors. Let's take a look at the trunk and notice the Fender audio here, and we got the screens. Quick note about this car. It's beautiful. It's called the Atlas. I think it should be called the Legroom 3000. You can see we have enough trunk space to hold a carry-on TSA approved bag here, and we could fit several of them. We could probably fit 6 just here. Then you knock the 3rd row of seats back, you have tons of space there, and then we can also fold the 2nd row of seats. So let me show you that right now. You just pop this door open here, you grab the handle, and this seat can either fold forward so you can get your people in, or if you put it down on the rails, you can grab here, fold it down, and now you have a flat cargo area. You can see that's probably about 6 or 7 feet. This car, aka truck, is about 200 inches long. As you can see, there's just so much room in here. It's kind of wild. Let's take a look at the engine, and then we will drive it. This is the V6 model. We have a V6 that's putting about 276 horsepower. It's kind of a small looking V6 in here. Honestly, this thing's huge. And the power difference between the V6 and the 4-cylinder is about 40 or so horsepower and a little bit of torque. I do like the power from this engine, not the most fuel efficient, getting 22 miles per gallon. So if you live in California where gas is like $5.79 a gallon, you just want to be throwing money at the car, well, you could do that here because it's going to eat 16 miles per gallon in the city and about 22 or 23 on the freeway. I actually was able to get 24 miles per gallon driving from Los Angeles to San Diego. And the 4-cylinder variant doesn't have all that much less power. It is a 4-cylinder turbo, and it gets about 24 miles per gallon combined. So let's get driving and tell you what the Atlas is like to drive, because it's huge on the outside, huge on the inside. What's it actually like on the road? And the first thing that I have to tell you about it is it doesn't feel long or big at all. It's only when you're parking that you really realize the size of the car, but as you'll see with my fingers here in a second, the steering is super, super light, so it feels like you're driving a very light and small car, even though this thing weighs over 6,000 pounds, which is pretty crazy. I've kept it in eco mode for the entire week that I've had it, so you can see if I hit the mode switch here, we can go between normal, eco, sport, and custom mode. I've kept it in eco most of the time, and all you have to do to go between the different modes is spin it, and then you can tap on the mode button there and go to eco. What you'll notice also here is that I have the lane keeping assist feature turned on, and this actually is not mandatory to use with radar cruise control. So I'm controlling the speed with my foot on the gas pedal, but you can see that the car does a pretty good job of keeping in the center of the lane, and this road has a slight curve to it. We'll try out this lane here where it gets a little bit wider. See the 2 white lines, so it locks in. It's gonna go right. It should pull left, which it did not, but it's not lane locked. And now you'll see that it's lane locked. It's gonna do micro adjustments and keep us in the center of the lane, and it does pretty well. I really like this digital cockpit here, this digital dash that VW is using. You guys have seen this in the Teos video that I did, and you can have various views right here on screen. So if we want, we can have road signs, so it reads speed limit signs for you. If you want to see your trip, your economy, etc., you can see that. This is live fuel economy numbers. You can see that it's getting close to 30 miles per gallon while we're coasting, but as I mentioned, I'm getting about 24 miles per gallon in the time that I've driven the car. Now we also have different modes here, so we can see the assist systems. It's reading a car in front of us. We have a compass, we can put navigation, our phone, etc. And we also do have a heated steering wheel button. In terms of the comfort controls, you can see that we have our mode switch here. We have 360 overhead camera, which is activated there. We also have our heated and cooled seats, which you can actually run at the same time. 2 USB ports here, along with 12-volt power, aux, and this is a wireless phone charger. So if you have a wireless charging compatible phone, you can put it on this mat and it will charge automatically for you, which is really nice. All of the controls are tilted a little bit upwards towards the driver here, so it's very easy to use. You have a fairly large screen here, I think it's about 7 inches, and I actually use this center display a lot more than anything else, and you can see we have different gauges here. So a lot of different options, very good car, and as you can see, we have a ton of space in the back, and that's a big thing with the Atlas that I didn't realize. From the outside, it doesn't look as big as it really is. This is essentially a stylish minivan. The R-Line looks awesome. It's got a very aggressive front and rear fascia. It has beautiful 21-inch wheels, and it's got enough power where it's pretty damn smooth. So if I want to speed up here, as you can see, I just put my foot down, and it doesn't fly or anything, but it's definitely got power. You're never gonna feel like there's a lag with the V6. And I think if you're driving mostly around town, you don't live in an area with a lot of mountains, the 4-cylinder turbo would be a great option just because it is a little bit more fuel efficient. And overall, this car is great. The one thing I did notice is the brakes, of course, with a 6,000-pound car, are a little soft feeling. So of course you don't need a car like this to stop on a dime, but the brakes here feel pretty soft and that gives you a nice smooth ride. But if you do need to stop on a dime like that, the entire car kind of shifts forward because there is a lot of weight and you need to push hard on the brakes. But overall, that is the VW Atlas. That's my take. It is big, but not hard to drive. The steering is very light. The tech system is very good in terms of the lane keeping assist and radar cruise control. I have an in-depth video on VW's lane keeping and cruise control system that I'll link to down below. And overall, it's a great car. If you need a ton of space, if you're okay with 24 or so miles per gallon, check out the Atlas. I think it looks great. They have some great lease deals on it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.